runners have notoriously tight hamstrings for a good reason, but if we allow them to become too tight, we are at much greater risk of injury, and it can really cause an instability in our core. Obviously bad news. So in this video, I'll share with you 3 different poses that can really effectively stretch and re-lengthen the hamstrings. I'm Helen Claire. This is Run Better with Yoga, helping you to run stronger, longer and injury-free with yoga. Please subscribe and look out for a new video each week. So it can take some time, but if you do these poses regularly, your hamstrings will be much happier, as will your running gait and your recovery. So you're probably going to need 2 blocks and a strap. And then come on to your hands and your knees. Slide your hips part way back, lengthen your arms, spread your fingers. And then push into your hands, tuck your toes, lift your knees and send your hips back. Loosen up your head and your neck as we make our way into downward facing dog. But keep your knees bent to start with. Let's just lengthen out the spine there first of all. And then we'll just drop one heel towards the floor. And then switch, take the other heel towards the floor. Now as you take a few more of those, just nice and slow, keeping the hips up. Perhaps close your eyes there if you can. Breathe super slow. And exhaling each time you drop a heel down. Whether it touches the floor or not does not matter. Good. After that second side, come back to the center. Lift both heels so you come right onto your toes. And on the count of 3, we'll drop the heels toward the floor. 3, 2, 1. So the heels might touch, they might not. Just push the thigh bones back. Keep an ever such a small or a big bend in your knees, but at least a small bend in the knees. And then again, lift the heels, come right onto your toes. So you want to be wrapping your armpits in a bit towards your face here. 3, 2, 1. And then take around 5 breaths there. As you look back at your feet should be about hip width apart and as parallel as they can be. Tailbone shifting up and breathing along the backs of your legs. So you're visualizing the muscles, all the tissues on the backs of the legs lengthening out. Notice where you can feel a stretch in the hamstrings. And then drop your knees back down. Okay, so now we're stepping 1 foot to the top. And this is where you might want to use your blocks. You might be fine without, but it's good to have them there in case we want them. So from this low lunge position, we're shifting the hips back. I'm just going to show you without my blocks there for a moment. I'm going to lift my toes. So lift your toes towards you, spread them apart. Now keep your back up nice and long, and this is where the blocks are really useful to do that. Press your heel down and then draw it back. So your heel won't really move, but draw your hip back into the socket. Again, keep a nice, at least a small bend in this front knee so it's not locking out there. But if this front knee is bent a lot, then that is also fine, as long as you're drawing the leg back towards you, hugging the hip back. You might be up on your blocks, and that can really help. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then rocking forward. So that's our Ardha Hanumanasana, or the half split. Okay, so we're just switching out the sides. Starting in a low lunge, then shifting the hips back, peel the toes up, spread them apart. And then hug the hip back. Press the heel down, and as though you want to draw it back towards you. So the leg feels strong at the same time as you're stretching out the hamstrings and the tissues on the back side of the leg. So the blocks will probably make it easier to balance in many cases. All right, 3 more breaths here. And rocking back forwards. So take your strap and come lie down on your back. And let's place both feet on the floor. And then right knee in. Take your strap around the ball of your right foot. And then start to lengthen the leg up. Keep your arms and hands nice and relaxed. Now this left foot, it can either stay there where it is with the knee bent, or, and you'll feel it a little bit more if you do, you can lengthen that left leg out long. Now just for starters, this leg's just chilling out up here. You're not trying to do anything. Your leg might be somewhere out here, so it might be further away. You can work towards bringing it to around 90 degrees. It doesn't need to, and it certainly doesn't need to go any further past that, but just see where you're at. So spending around 3 minutes here is going to have real great benefit on re-lengthening through the hamstrings there if you do it regularly. We're just going to add in a little bit of PNF, so proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, by pressing the ball of the foot into the strap, pushing the leg away. So we're activating the muscles. 5 to 8 seconds. So around 5 breaths would be good. And then you relax the leg and just see if you can gently draw it in a little bit closer towards you. Now if you can't, that doesn't matter. Spend a few breaths there. Relax your arms as much as you can. And then we'll do that once more. So press the ball of the foot in. So you'll feel everything switch on. Foot, calf, hamstrings. So if you count out 5 breaths there, then you relax. And then just see if that leg wants to come in any closer. And again, it doesn't matter if it does, but if you do this regularly over time, you'll probably see that there's quite a significant difference. Now each of these poses there to be done post-run, so after running, for the static, still held poses. Okay, release your strap, bend your knee, roll the other leg in, left knee in, and we'll loop this side. Okay, so compare size just to start with, just taking that leg up nice and easy. Where does it just go naturally, not trying too hard? So you're trying to straighten the leg just as much as you comfortably can, but obviously there might be a bend in it, and that's fine. Okay. Push, strap away towards the ceiling, even if it's on a bit of a diagonal. You could always bend the knee if you need to get the leg up a bit more vertically. And then relax. Maybe draw it in. Try not to grip too much with your hands. And then once more, push the strap away. And relax and draw it in. And I bet you will see a clear difference between the sides. We all have a stronger, tighter side. We're just working towards finding balance between the two. The more we can even out the sides, the better it's going to be for our overall health as well as our running. And then bend the knee, release your strap. And after that, you might just like to take a nice easy bridge pose, lifting the hips up just to re-lengthen there through the hip flexors, which is going to be the topic for next week. Okay. Taking your hips back down, and I suggest you just lie back and relax, allowing the hamstrings and everything else just to relax, rest for a few minutes. So thank you, well done. So yes, it might take a little bit of time, but your hamstrings will thank you for it, as will your running technique and your ability to run efficiently and for longer and reduce the risk of injury. So I'll see you next week for our video on how to stretch out the hip flexors. Until then, write to me in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.